I felt I owed Grimith something, especially when Manaki gave me the idea that you can actually... I read through 13th book and I had ideas that it doesn't have to be things that have already been in. You can bring in new people. You can have something that you have never even mentioned before appear and become something. You have that power. You can do that. And I thought, all right, let's try this. Level 5, let's write it. And that's what I said to Grimith, and I'm sure he would have said, you might need to change a couple of things. You know, I'm not too happy with da-da-da. But he seemed happy with it, so there we go.
Operative storytelling.
I didn't write you anything back, Gryph, because that fucking thing was fine with me. Didn't have a single problem with it.
Cool.
But I have to say this. I don't know if it was just me.
Is that what your mind fixated on, Sheep?
Yes, I'm sorry. Also, I'm 12.
Sheep's German. He's really turned on by cogs.
Also, Manaki, were you okay with me kind of putting words in Hurum's mouth?
In relation to what?
There was the part where it was basically during the work that I used Hurum to come out and fetch Tempus back in, you know, quoting that you needed to do work on the 17th tier upon the 6th and 8th cogs and all this stuff.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I tried not to do too much. I just thought it fit in with it.
Yeah.
Alright. Then to help with the shaping of planning, we already know what Gryph's relationship dice are going to be. Everyone else, welcome to level 5 with your extra icon relationship die. Roll them for me.
Yay!
There's a 6 and a 5.
I got nothing. I'm going to reroll that 1 because I can. And get another 1. Go me!
Damn it.
Okay.
So it's me and Gryph next session.
Yeah, didn't get anything last time either.
Command points because
Before
I
that I
them
got
from Force as well, but I got nothing to that bit yet.
You did get a 4, so yes, you would have those 2 command points. Okay. Then, we have results from Leon. Priestess positive 6 and a Lich King conflicted 5.
We're going to get a lot of those, I have a feeling, with my 2 dice now.
And then we have Fargus and his High Druid conflicted 6.
Oh, good.
And then, of course, we have Tempus's carryover.
Thank you for giving me that option, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of 4s. I got 2 4s. Hiram got 2
It's a signal.
4s.
Apparently
Thomas got
4 is a very important number in our campaign.
And then followed by 3, which there was Fargus had 3 frees.
3 dragons. It's a sign.
Yeah, Fargus had 3 frees. Thomas had a free. You had a free.
And a 1 for 1 chance to stop them.
You got 1 shot. 1 possibility.
Consider that.
That's when the Eminem song begins, yes.
Guys, we're searching for patterns and things that don't exist.
We just gotta lose ourselves in the moment.
You can stop now.
Aww.
Shit.
Yeah. So I guess the plan is find and defeat this agent, maybe interrogate her, then move on to the Iron Sea.
Right.
Long-term plan.
To get an idea, okay, I know the Sorcerer seems to be the target, so do we want to make it a shorter or longer? Do you want me to focus... Like, I have an idea, like, what I'm going to use my 6s for in between session. I'm going to try and see if I can spend some time finding out my contacts and discussing things, see what I can discover. I have some ideas in regards to the Dwarf, which would make more sense because this is someone that Tempus will have a bad relationship with.
Sure.
However, like I could write something that would make a lot more sense of him targeting him. This sorceress, Tempus would have no idea where to start.
Well, I mean, the Dwarf is a place to start to find her. We have the Dwarf, the tavern, and these mercenaries. Those are the places we have to start with what we have.
Tempus I have some really good ideas in regards to using that Shadow 6.
I guess I would suggest for you guys who got relationship dice to spend them on finding information about these 3 groups of people in one way or another.
Yes, no full heal up. That was a single balanced encounter. for all of you folks in your party. That was a single balance encounter, no full heal up, no incremental advance this session either.
I'm just going to play this now. I was down at 45 HP before I put all my level ups. Was that a...
That was just due to the fact that your token wasn't
okay,
updated.
I just wanted to...
You should be at full and you're free and clear. You have everything.
Oh, yes, you got to see Leon teleported into a shark nest and then fly out.
As you do.
Also,
And
guys,
almost being
I,
teleported into sharks and then smacking all of them.
yeah, I kinda need to be up in 6 hours, so I'm gonna call it an end here. And
Here you go, Goger.
yeah,
See,
I'll see you
it's
next
a
time.
good thing it was an early session then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bye, Goger.
it certainly was. I'll see you next time, and I'll contact you later on my days on the 6 I got.
Alright.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'm just going to ask, because, as I said, I'm finally, like the 12 or 14 sessions in,
18.
getting... 18! Fuck! 18 sessions in, finally getting how this role-playing works. You can tell I'm slow to the party. Is that kind of style like good, then?
I don't have a problem with that at all. The book encourages, like, whenever you do the level up thing, you can either, like, talk about, like, experiences that the group had, or you can invent your own experiences. And that's what you ended up doing for your whole description of the level up thing. I don't have a problem with that. It doesn't bother me.
I didn't think of that as really an option, so I've been considering it to be done as a group.
Like,
I haven't really had a problem since I've done so much.
Yeah, the book details that you can, like, identify extraordinary moments that the group had during sessions, or you can come up with new moments that help you build, like, connections and backgrounds and help justify how your character has grown.
I figured this gave me an option to actually build a background, because like I always have very basic templates and then expand out, and I found this is probably the best idea that I can have to give me that background and history, as well as give Grimith a few more tools, which is I'm sure always appreciated.
The bounty on your head might be exaggerated, but then again, people have always been known to exaggerate things in your line of work.
Indeed, it wasn't written as a case of like the bounty is actually 15 million gold pieces. It's just someone.
In that case, I have no idea why the party hasn't fucking turned you in already.
Yeah. Think of what we could do with that money.
Think of the greater good, yeah.
We could
We
build
could
an obsidian-
bribe the entire Black Fang with that kind of money.
Sorry, great black dragon, but the Black Fang no longer works for you. There's just too much money on the table here.
I'd like
Here
to see you
home
carry
and
around
buys out the Dwarf King.
like 15 million gold pieces is 1.5 million platinum pieces. You can't carry around 1.5 million platinum
No,
pieces.
you'd spend about 100,000 platinum pieces building yourself the most elaborate military graded caravan, the most elaborate army of America.
See, a mercenary is 5 gold pieces.
With
But then all
big
your
attack
servants will run off with like 60 million gold. And
We
hide
could
it
get
somewhere.
3 million mercenaries.
I don't think
What
there's
if we
enough
take the
mercenaries.
limping one-armed ones?
Limping one-armed ones. Well, those would be considered
Like 1/4 price, the ones that couldn't do anything.
Fargus. Yeah, we could get
The waves of meat.
1.5.
We solve
million
the
Fargus or
Sahagin
something.
problem by feeding them all. They're
Yeah,
all
we
now
could-
very bloated and happy, so now they don't want to attack
15
anymore.
million Fargus. Oh.
All you have to do is keep delivering them tribute like that, and the Iron Seal will be pacified.
Yeah,
We could
everything there is like-
also purchase 30 million really bad oracles.
But we always
We
know
get
which
we get
one's
30
good.
million completely different answers to one question.
That's a lot of variance.
We just
I think
take the
Urban
one
Market
that
is-
comes up the most as the fact.
But if
Or
they're really
if they're all
bad,
completely different, as Manaki suggested, then...
Oh.
every single one is different. And it's like, the penguins and the chickens will rise. The one's
Or
like,
the
wood
gnomes
is the
of the
key,
chickens will
the
rise.
bark. Look under the bark.
And then just like several of the answers are like, you are the father, you are the father, you are the father.
God damn it.
Both of you are the father. What?
Or it's the black. See, the thing is, for the oracle, I'm imagining it's basically an oracle gives us the 8 ball, and we basically just shake it for an
Ask
answer.
again later.
What can you spell with Oracle? Orc.
Oh.
Oracle.
Orc ale.
apple.
Orc ale. Aha! That's what they're on.
5 million bad orc ale would.
Or kale.
Kale. Yeah.
Who's Kale? La Orca.
Dun, dun,
The shark?
dun.
This makes so much sense with those mentions of penguins.
The orca.
La Orca.
The orca.
Or El Orca.
1 gold, you can get a luchador whale.
All race.
The old ones are coming. Fitan, Cthulhu Fitan.
Well, 5 million of them apparently.
Oh.
That would be the most hilarious thing to be.
Welcome to the gnome workshop. I sell you an anagram for a price. Whatever you can make with that anagram is that price.
Yes.
That's where
So
things getting weird.
a small bite-sized session I designed just solely to encompass you traveling to Newport and to have some information through which you could have a genesis of what you would be seeing next session.
That's what I imagined would happen.
Instead of a you got to see the continuing evolution of the world around you, the continued progression of ship travel as you've been on a boat a number of times now, 3. You also got to have a fight which was balanced. You could have 3 more fights like that, and that would qualify you for a full heal up.
Yeah.
Except if that fight happens again, I cannot teleport. I cannot fly away from those sharks.
I guess now we don't longer have Gen Zeros with us.
No,
But-
you would not have Gen Zeros with you. No, and some extra stuff was added because of the fact that Gen Zeros and the Deaf Speaker were participating in the fight. The Gen Zeros is level 4, and the Deaf Speaker is, as confirmed already, level 7.
Man, he should be party leader. He can't heal though. So that's a huge problem for him.
What you do is you just chip him away with small pieces of cutlery thrown at him at fast velocities.
But we can't heal him.
No, can't really heal
He
him.
gets wounded and we just want to put him in wrap him in bubble wrap and
We're talking
put him in
about
a
Zeros
room.
or the Death Speaker.
The Deaf Speaker.
Deaf Speaker.
Gen
Oh,
Zeros
right.
is gone.
Yeah, he left.
Deaf Speaker, yes. With his stellar armor class. You know, he was going onto that ship with half health.
And Tempus didn't want to tell Hurim at any point that Lotraptors had wanted that.
I genuinely was quite confused. Like, out of character, I was really kind of panicking because I was thinking, "Oh God, is this like a secret thing?" Ah.
You take what
It's a
knowledge
secret
you're
as you
given.
make it.
Yeah, you take what knowledge you're given as a player, and you do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Yep. Do I have regrets? All the time. Is this one of them? Maybe.
Yep. And so whenever like the verdict was made, like last session, like we're at the end of it, like we're going back to Newport. I'm like, oh no, now poor Tempus won't be able to hear the crazy dwarven music, and he also, well, he won't have that much of an opportunity left to kill Gen Zeros.
Crazy dwarven music sounded like such a bad idea though. Like
Crazy.
this
dwarf
music makes you mind controlled. The musical. It's like,
The opera.
PC,
Oh,
the
PC
Broadway
paranoia, perhaps, but it wouldn't be the first time. And in Dragonhole, of all places, for free.
Look, there has been. I don't know about your paranoia. There has not been mind control in this campaign. Stay away from that stuff.
Yeah.
There's no telekinetic powers.
No, there are those.
I mean, those
there are certainly telekinetic powers. Telekinetic powers exist. Those are
We have-
telekinetic powers.
Yeah. Yeah, out of character, just mind control immediately creates an inevitable paranoia in the players.
Yes, it does.
will then question everything that is ever going to happen.
Which is why when Manaki started getting that way, like privately, like think to me and maybe Dark, like several weeks ago, I started going, "Now, God damn it, we haven't had any of that shit in this campaign. You call the fuck down."
But that paralyzed, save it for my campaign.
Maybe we aren't even in Newport. Maybe we went and listened to that music now. And
Maybe
all
we
this
died,
is just
and this
part
is
of the
our
music.
hell.
Oh, we're in purgatory.
And next we decide to go back to Foghaven and can never leave.
It is
Let's never do that then.
It is with this joke in mind, I will actually share with you a monster storyline prompt from one of the books. This is the most unbalanced book, because it kind of involves another campaign setting. This book, is storyline thing, it has this monster, or rather an elven-looking motherfucker called a Shadow Fae. And you know if the word involved is Fae, that it's gonna be good, right?
Always.
Always
Make
good.
sure
So-
you've got your cold iron.
So our adventure hook, the payment. A Shadow Fae emissary approaches the party to pay them for their memories. "Oh no," she explains. "I don't want more memories. You've already traded some memories. Here is your payment." The party can't remember trading away their memories from bags of powdered silver that hangs in the air with the sound of innocent laughter. But apparently they have. When they check on the date, it is a month later than they were expecting. Their boots are muddy. Their armor has new dents. Something happened in that month, and they chose to sell their memories of it. Will the party try to find out what it is they can't remember? Or will they decide that they must have sold their memories for a reason and hope that what they can't remember will not cause complications? That's one of the fucking adventure hooks!
That is fucking amazing. That is amazing.
And I looked at that and I blinked and I was like, "Ah, fuck no. I ain't fucking touching that."
Yeah, because we would do everything in our power to figure out what the fuck
Are you sure?
happened.
Here would be like, no.
Every morning we would just go out to the street and ask like multiple people what day it is, just to be sure we didn't miss one.
Because it's that kind of
Wait,
shit that would engender paranoia for the rest of the fucking campaign.
Grimith,
But
what
now
month
you're
of the year
luring
is
into a
this?
happy peace where we think it will never happen. And then suddenly we wake up and it's been 3 sessions where we were just asleep and it's in a spaceship and it was all a test. That Nurgle Space Marine was never there.
Wait a minute.
Does that sound familiar, Gryph?
Somewhere. This seems strangely familiar for some reason.
I feel like I've been here before. Have I been here before?
I am still proud of that. That was I watched that entire session recently, and I am surprised myself.
My big takeaway is how deadly an axe is in Warhammer 40k.
Yes.
10 of 10 with
Yes.
axe again.
That became your favorite weapon because of that scene.
Without a doubt. No regrets.
It's like, oh, you rolled a 10, roll more damage. Another 10, roll more damage. Another 10. He's dead, Grimith.
So,
He's dead.
So any yes. That's a suggestion from the most imbalanced and dangerous book of the monster books I have at my disposal. The Shadow Fae Emissary, with you having sold your memories to her.
The monstrous monster book.
Yes. This same quirkily more dangerous book also features monsters like, you remember the Clockwork Devil? He's from there. Remember the Lich Hound? He's from there.
I don't actually remember much about the Lich Hound.
They weren't very nice.
What did they do?
But everyone remembers the Clockwork Devil.
I
except for
remember
Gryph.
the Lich Hounds, and I remember the Clockwork Devil. The Lich Hounds teleported. They
Everywhere.
were so annoying.
Also, we couldn't
Clockwork
hide.
Devil,
We also couldn't hide from the Lich Hounds because they always knew where we were, and
They sensed our life force or something. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm just.
I believe it was Life Sense they had, or something similar.
Yes. The information about Rava, the gear goddess, that's from the book as well. That most dangerous of books.
I'm looking forward to hearing more things that come from this most dangerous of books.
Just not facing them.
You've encountered other monsters from them as well, but those aren't so worth noting, because those aren't... Not everyone's a winner. I like the Clockwork Devils, though, and I like the Lich Hound. I thought the Clockwork Devils certainly made their impression.
I like at the end that you basically told us, oh, by the way, he does 3 of his breath attacks. Have fun. Like, what?
No, I think Grimith's favourite bit is we were supposed to have twice as many.
Yes, in order for it to be properly balanced, to be a suitable encounter for you folks, there should have been 4 of them instead of 2.
But assuming that they all die, we don't have enough hit points in the party to deal with just the damage of them dying.
Okay, guys, they're all on like 1 hit point. I'm going to blow all of them up.
We meet all of these. There are 4 of them. They are just standing there in our way. We have to hack through them. They're not defending themselves at all until they die and explode and kill us all.
Let me actually. I'm actually going to do this as a sort of like an amusing experiment based on the battle builder here. You guys are level 5 now, which means in order for me to balance battles appropriately, they actually need to be tougher. They need to be a level higher, because you've ascended to champion tier. It's how the book is designed. Now, those Clockwork Devils were each they were each level 3, so that's 2 levels below you guys, and they were large. That's not even a branch here. So, from what I'm understanding here, if I gave you guys 5 of those in one fight right now, that still wouldn't be balanced enough. I would need to give you... I would need to give you 7 of those in one battle, and then the average would be like 4.9 instead of the 5 that it needs to be. So you could take 7 of those.
That's the damage they do when they die.
7 of those.
Has a to hit roll, right?
7 of those, and that would be basically the Sahagwin fight you had this session.
More like that. If we then
scaling doesn't really work.
Yes.
Then we can also add the number, that we have 7 times 40 extra. Because,
and there certainly is an attack roll they have to make versus physical defense. That one certainly would have hit.
It's also 45, right?
Yes, it's 45 damage.
What's their to-hit modifier?
It is a whopping, let me go ahead and check that. It is a whopping 9, plus 9.
But the thing is,
so
that would
as good as mine. Yeah.
So it's basically 50-50 to hit, meaning on average we would take half that damage. So on average, we would take 600 damage split up on the entire party, which would kill all of us twice over.
Do you know, on 5% of those occasions,
yeah,
1 in 20, he does double, so...
Yeah, it would be slightly higher than half then.
You also have their slam attacks, which they do to try to hit people whenever they.
This is also the damage if they did not fight.
Oh, and they also
they
can
just sat around.
The thing. Okay.
They can recharge.
They can also use it once per while they're before they're staggered, and then they do it automatically when they're staggered, and
each one will do a minimum of 5 attacks.
Yes. Let's up it then to if they actually attacked rather than just sitting around.
So there's 5 of them each.
Yeah, the thing is, there's had to be 7 of them, and I'll tell you now, with 5 of us, let's just say each of us was able to kill 1 of them before they take an action, which is, let's just say, possible with the rolls.
Actually, if the Death Speaker is going to be with you guys, I would most certainly have to add at least 1 more.
Death Speaker, please leave.
One more modifier, please. One more modifier, please. We've got the Death Speaker.
But he's level 7. He would count for so many of them.
We'll handle the rest later.
So yes, the moral of the story, as is the case with any sort of encounter battle builder you have,
it would take about 200 damage each.
In any sort of tabletop, your mileage may vary.
So, So that's ridiculous.
I think the answer to that is I'm dead.
Now, of course,
there
are different monster types. Some are casters, and some are blockers. Some are designed to spoil you. and your actions and your attacks with sabotage. And some are designed purely as wreckers, to fucking wreck your shit, basically. That's what the Sahagwin were, except for those priests. The Sahagwin are flavored as wreckers. And
least annoying enemies, probably.
There's archers, blockers, troops, which are basically just like HP sponges. You got like casters,
zombies.
spoilers, yes, there's zombie beasts, wreckers, all sorts of flavors to help build nice and flavorful battles. Which I think this one, the one they featured today, is one that I like more than I liked most of the battles, because you had a good terrain. It's been building up, foreshadowing that there's gonna be a fight on the sea eventually. I think it has anyway. And you eventually had one.
And then shocks.
If I'm honest, I'm actually quite happy that we're going to head to the wall. I've actually been hoping for that one for a while.
Yeah, I think Fargus also expressed in character that that's where he would like to go next.
You'll recall that Goger said that he didn't really want to go to Dragon Hall. That was a vote against going to Dragon Hall before something else.
And now that we're back, well, it's hard to justify just leaving this agent there after all the damage she's done. I hope that they will be able to deal with her better themselves, and maybe they've made some headway that we can then use to sort of springboard us into the situation to deal with it before we move on to I think it would be interesting to have that angle. And we also now have that we consider that there might be an enemy out there as sort of a further reason than just stem the tide to go there.
Also, and one thing, Manaki, that happens. I forgot to press enter on that while you're on the boat, so I decided to wait until the end of the session. You will recall that you have had a certain belonging in your possession for since session 8.
Yes.
And that has resumed. They didn't bother you in Dragon Hall, but now you're back. So there's that. Certainly, the timeline has progressed. You have different information here than you would have had you stayed in Newport half the campaign ago. And you have to remember that as player characters, you can't be everywhere in the world, acting against everything all at one time. Situations will progress, and as does tend to be the case, whenever you're doing one of these high fantasy hero games, situations tend to worsen whenever you don't personally get involved. It's part of that affliction which makes the story revolve around you and focus on how great you are and how important you are, so that no one shows you up.
The only people that get things done are the villains, it seems.
Yes, the villains get things done because they have to get things done, because they have to challenge you.
There wouldn't be a plot otherwise.
Right, like, if you guys were actually the villains, then the antagonists would be the good people, and they'd get tons of shit done. And you would be the only...
There's much more good people in this world, apparently, than there are evil people at the moment. But the good people are, well, dying off.
Yes. The evil people have had to, like, slow their roll and go about this a different way, because good has been so effective. So, yes. Some basic information for you folks to build a foundation of what you might try to do next session. For icon relationship dice, not everyone triggered. Manaki doesn't have to worry about that burden, but something that you might want to think about is whether you want to throw down the device here in Newport, or outside of Newport.
I don't think so.
Okay, gotta keep that with you.
Because I can only fold it back like once per level.
Yes, if you throw it down, you wouldn't be able to pick it up again until level 6.
Yeah, and so. Yeah, I'm very
right now we have
it now.
Pretty good headquarters in the academy, right?
Yeah. The effect of it is also sort of limited. We can use it to sleep in, basically. It's like a very fancy tent. But it certainly also basically has provisions of it. I don't think they age in there, do they? If they get old and nasty. Anyway,
like,
some of them will be edible,
yes.
probably.
Yes, not, some of it was preserved food, so.
Yeah. So it's basically like oh god, we're teleported to the middle of like a snowy peak in the nowhere. Here we go. We're okay. For a while.
Your stone building precariously balanced on the summit.
Who knows how that will work? It might wrap itself around it or something.
Experiment.
Actually, never tried to fold it out. It just fits in. Okay.
So yes, that to consider. You're going to be then staying in the Arcane College. It will take a full day. Basically, you guys are going to wake up and you'll get all that information from Lord Teraptus. It'll take another day after that for you to get the authority and the guards under your command to do your raid. Mm-hmm. So you would, if that's what you want to open up with next session, you have a day of downtime to do whatever you want in Newport. Perhaps that could be an opportunity to gather information. If that's not what you want to open up with, then do something that you can open up with next session.
I think it's good. I think a day of downtime is good to get some relationship dice done. We're back in the town. And then I think raiding the fucking hound with, we might as well use the strength we have in this place. Still, we going in there first before we alert the people in there that there's a raid seems to be a good idea. If nothing else, we could always go in there and then have the raid be declared afterwards when we're settled in. Although that would be hard because we'd have to be undercover, which is nigh impossible. Like, who's that criminal guy with his shining golden druid eyes?
That, and if you look like yourselves, your names are gonna be known, that dashing dwarf Dwohurim Harsca, and that paragon of goodness, Thomas Tonell.
Yeah. We'll wield the mighty fist of the law and bring it down upon all these.
I serve the flaming fist. I am the law. You guys should just be obnoxious guardsmen. There you go. I like it. Obnoxious mercenary guardsmen.
Mm-hmm. Accosting people on the road, asking them straight out if they're from some weird group that they don't know.
Yes.
In the hope that they say yes, we can murder them. Problem is, we don't have enough friends who, if we die being obnoxious to people, just keep coming whenever they go anywhere. We need some of the, a couple of wizards, and then, 5 people in plate armor who can attack every time.
We still have some time that normally would have been for a session. If you have any questions for me, or comments, now would be the time to do so, since I know that you might not apply yourselves otherwise. Just kidding, I hate you all. No.
So metagame-wise, I assume there's going to be more than Sahagin out there in the sea, because you'll get really bored with only using Sahagin token if there isn't.
That's a fair assumption, yes. Those Dragonkin, also from the same bestiary as the Clockwork Devil.
Well, Dragonkin, they don't exist anymore, don't they?
They have suddenly become far rarer in this campaign world.
I mean, we also left, so...
It's good.
Also, we killed a lot. So.
It's good.
The great depopulation.
Yes.
Genocide.
Yeah. Jesus, yes.
Local level.
You wouldn't be fighting those guards and warlocks again at any rate. I can't think of a situation right now at the top of my head. No, I'd give you something else. You would have different flavored Dragonkin. Jinzeros, of course, is Dragonkin. Calorel was... she liked to default to that form. And Scarlet is 2. But of course, you've left her behind as well.
Might be a few more agents here that are Dragonkin. Although I guess in Newport it's kind of easier not to be compared to Dragon Hall.
Yes, here in Newport, there's not that much of other. And other would be the category that Dragonkin would fall into. the last time the Imperial census was conducted. Not that much other. Very cosmopolitan city. But yes, metagame-wise, I can certainly say that no matter where you go, you'll have a variety of enemies.
Because one kind gets boring.
There's certainly been a variety of enemies you could have encountered that you have not done so, and I have made sure to incorporate them at some points that I was sure you could fight them, like whenever you missed out on some of those sections in the Living Dungeon. Which, by the way, you're always welcome to visit again, metagame-wise.
Yeah, but in-game he didn't want us to.
It's true. But
maybe when we level 9.
Do you know of any other living dungeons?
But when have people ever listened to when dungeons told them to do something, right? That's like the GM telling you to do something.
I don't know, I've never had any dungeon tell me to do anything before. It's
it's a weird
feeling.
situation.
He's a very polite dungeon, he was.
You guys failed to tell all of your friends and enemies to go visit him.
I shall remind you to do so in the future.
Our 4 friends that just left, I don't think they would be inclined to enter the living dungeon of Creel. Leave these 10 gold pieces. You should buy a ticket to the living dungeon of Creel and go there and see if you can win your own fortune.
Joke's on you, no ticket required.
Yeah.
Free admittance.
You can pick the path with no death. We could even spoil some of the path to you. Although we don't know how to get past the other things except for burning sand, which to a normal person would be impossible.
And you know, the near bottomless, well, I say near bottomless. The bottom, it does have a bottom, but it has spikes at the bottom. Bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also difficult to do if you're just a normal person. Even hard enough if you're not.
I mean, you had a hard time.
I still think at some point we'll teleport to the bottom of it.
I mean...
He'll be like, hey, dude, we just teleported here because the whole Iron Sea is coming down on us, and they're going to teleport after us. They'll come out here outside your place, and they'll try to run into the dungeon, so now we dungeon defend. And we have a tower defense against them. As they try to invade the dungeon of Creel.
And no re-ent, no breaking down the doors or bad stuff happens.
If there's going to be any dungeon defense you do, it'll probably be with the device you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, can we turn that to like...
We learn how to build builders and towers.
Okay. Do you remember what we saw in the Living Dungeon? Can we recreate that in there?
We build the...
I mean, potentially, yeah. I don't see... I mean, if we provide the money, I don't see a reason why one of the rooms cannot be a spike, like a pit full of spikes.
The room full of hot sand and...
It should be possible. I don't know about hot sand.
We'll find a way.
I guess we can have a furnace there. We can modify temperatures, so I guess maybe we could have sand. You just can't have like organic stuff.
Like you would have to control the temperature using, ways that you can control it.
Yeah.
So like, if you want to create a multi-story section, like a ground floor and a basement that has the fucking spikes and shit, you can do that. Sure, yeah. That's what you really want to do. I mean, so yes.
We now need magical locking doors. Dwohurim, hold portal.
So yes, I mean, you have the tools if you want to do dungeon defense, right?
We're going to invite people to invade our place.
Please come to the Living Dungeon of Manaki.
The Teraptus just cries as we completely ignores all of his requests and does something completely irrelevant
so he sends wave after wave of mooks against us that steadily increase in power. Yeah. And convincingly, they also seem to hold their weight with them.
So some of them have flying, so they just ignore our maze.
Yeah,
little towers.
He tells them, "Go for the heart. It's called, it's the big device at the center. Just
it's
ignore everything else. Go
big
for that."
orb that's kind of sentient and capable of communication. Have you considered at any point, Manaki, that you actually hold a living dungeon in your hands?
Holy shit!
I have not.
It just blew your fucking mind.
But if so, then I am the person that Creel was, basically. The dungeon keeper.
Yeah.
The dungeon master.
I'm the dungeon master, yes.
You go visit him for hot tips. How do you do it?
How do you make those zombies just appear? I mean, it's lovely. I would love to have that sort of thing. But my dungeon just can't do it. And he's like, you have to level your dungeon up. It's like you're a trainer. You gotta Gotta teach him how to do
Your
it. So
dungeon
you
has
just
to
gotta
go fight other dungeons.
have
Wait, what?
adventurers that he can defeat.
It's like you have to absorb.
There's a
lower level
massive
dungeons.
arena in the Underdark where dungeons can go
Yeah,
fight other
or
dungeons.
the living dungeon battle tournaments.
How many mooks can you slay before one touches your?
It's where your dungeon summons creatures and then gets income to upgrade its own defenses against the other summoned creatures from the other dungeon.
I like this conversation. This is good.
Just beware the harpies; they're super cheesy.
I'm gonna be honest with
Way
you.
too good.
I didn't even think of the fact that your thing was like a fucking living dungeon until this session. And I was
Yeah.
like,
I mean, that's true. It basically,
Time for that to have a whole new plot tangent.
the whole thing is the creator of matter.
That would be pretty awesome that we suddenly recreate the Clockwork Dimension in there.
maybe you guys decide that you want to take this campaign a different route, and you decide to go with the Dungeon Keeper route after all. In which case, that guy who had the maintenance background would have been really
Like the
useful.
best.
Who
Who knew?
Thomas, we need the carpentry skill for something.
I've maintained living dungeons in my day. I knew I should.
You know what? The caretaker
Street.
of
That's right.
the living
Gorgon's
dungeon
Maw,
would be
yes.
perfect.
And wouldn't that be different? In 2 sessions, we're going down to participate in the living dungeon tournament.
That would be
On
an
attack.
awesome turn
With
of
epic
events.
people who disappeared from history. The Archmage is down there now. That's where he is.
He's stuck like trying to grind up his dungeon like a good enough level. Like,
He doesn't
I'm
have time for
kidding.
this dumb boo stuff.
Wait,
It's like
It
a,
doesn't
like
matter.
a whole
Surface is-
underground thing around
or maybe
like,
it does
like
tie into the
rooster
blue.
fights.
Like the blue's trying to level up her dungeon too. Dude, my hat would be better.
She's trying to provoke enough people from the Iron Sea to come and attack, so that she can grind up easily by having
You know-
the mobs come to her.
You guys have probably quoted a lot of anime plot lines in just this one.
Thank you,
I can think of a
Japan.
few.
I'm so glad the United States dropped those nukes on you.
Whoa,
Made
sure,
the
we
world
could-
better.
Man, and we had sharks and everything.
Yes, a rundown of the enemies that were faced, because I know that that Gryph wasn't here to see the greatness. We had 2 of these adorable looking fellows, and I'll put them next to the PC tokens. We had 2 of these less adorable looking fellows. We had one of these motherfuckers. This guy has 4 arms and 4 legs, and his attack goes a little something like that. And none of his naturals triggered, not even on misses, because they can trigger on misses. And then you had 4 of these incredibly delightful gentlemen lurking in the water. Now, what they might not have told you is that these priest assholes could hit you with this and teleport you to engage one of their sharks in the water. Off
What's
the
the
boat.
dick move button? I want to see the dick move
That's the
button.
dick move button. See, Leon got hit with it. He used draconic leap to fly out of there. Dwohurim got hit with it, but the sharks were too far away, so he wasn't teleported very far.
I had planned to use my cloak to pop free from everything and fly.
Yeah.
If
That would have been, yes,
that was to
Thomas?
your
happen.
ring. And then Thomas, he got sent down there.
Thomas did not have a way to get out.
So Leon and Thomas were both effective enough swimmers, despite everything, to not begin slipping down and drowning. They were able to retain control.
I probably
of the rest
wouldn't
of
have
their
been.
actions.
I mean, I was kind of worried. I only have a +1 strength mod.
Mm-hmm.
Dex based.
Well,
Yep.
Yes, so those were the friends, and that, combined with you having Gen Zeros on the death speaker, all was one balanced combat. You could have 3 more of those.
Out of curiosity, Grimith, with that mutant's 4-armed frenzy, if he got 4 attacks, would that be 40 ongoing damage?
If he hit you with all of those, and they triggered all the ongoing damage, yes.
Jeez.
It would have
Why-
been 40 ongoing damage from 4 separate sources.
I mean, someone's got to ask, why is it 4, 18, 12, 16, 20, and not 4, 12, 16, 18, 20?
I think but isn't that supposed to be just 8, not 18?
Oh, that should be 4-8.
That would make sense.
That should be 4-8.
That's how I read it in battle. I read it as like,
Oh, I was like, oh, he's doing this just to piss me off, isn't he?
No, that was a typo on my part.
All right, good.
But it would be like me to piss you off. Yes.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
next time one of these things has an ability, it will just be a random order.
And that's why I wanted to, like, normally I am kind enough to list what these effects do, but in the case of the Solid Glow Priest, I'm like, I'm not obligated to do that. They don't have to know what the fuck these things do. Do you want this shit to hit or not?
Add to dick move.
Yep, I just decided to, like, press the hashtag dick move button. Which I thought was a dick move. Get the fuck off the boat.
You know, when we saw the sharks, I was like, yeah, something's going to be pushing or shoving or pulling or throwing or teleporting or something. We're going to end up in that water.
I expect it being thrown into the water, not being teleported, but, you know.
We're going to end up in the water somehow.
Yes. Because the Iron Sea Sharks, it's also listed in the description for the sharks, like, they aren't effective. Like, at the best, if they're out of the water, they're hazardous terrain. They're just going to be flopping around angrily if they're out of the water, so I'm like, they're just in the water. But you guys get to see some synergy there with the escalation. Well, that helps us, right?
Yeah.
It helped them as well.
Not as much as it helped us.
Not as much as it helped you, no. But you guys...
but they did also crit on it, so...
The Sahagwen got 2 criticals. They have a Trident and Bite, which if they critical, they increase the escalation die by 1, and the target is hampered until the end of its next turn. They got 2 of those in the first round, so the escalation die went from 0 to 2. Like, when the combat ended, the escalation die was higher than the amount of the rounds that it progressed. I don't think that's ever happened in the entire campaign. So yes, and in comparison, this Sahagwen Mutant, he has a limited escalator. So he gets the escalation die until for his attacks. And the Sahagwen, when they're staggered, they get the escalation die to their attack rolls and to their damage rolls, depending on when they were staggered. So that's the synergy there. So the longer these guys lurk around, the more dangerous they are.
Like PCs.
The battle's going to become very bloody if there's many of them. Because we're going to do a lot of hurt and they do a lot of hurt. Nobody buffs their defense by doing it. So, you know.
And the Glow Priest, I had waited to see. I was like, I wonder if, you know, they'll like, hey, Priest, it's probably a caster type. I'll try to move and engage him in melee and see what happens. And the first time that was shown off was actually one of them moving next to Leon. And whoop!
Yeah, I thought like, okay, take down the big guy, then handle the mage, then handle the normal guys. Nope, the mage handled me.
I usually go for the ones who... I usually go try to eliminate as many as possible to eliminate the amount of attacks we take.
Well,
yes.
Because there's usually no enemy whom we can just ignore.
Well, I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity now to say thank you for a good bit of roleplay. I know I was here for a very short period of time, only about an hour and a half. But it was fun.
Yes, you can hunker down and expect a lot of roleplay next session.
Cool. And I will spend some time, probably early this week, and write out a few things that I've got an idea of.
I've already got one idea.
Fantastic. All right, Gryph, sounds good.
Sorry, I thought Dark said something to me there and I got stumped.
I've already got one idea for my dice as well, so it'll be quite fun.
Yeah.
I don't have any dice.
Ever since I said I'm going to make proper use of my dice, I haven't gotten any.
Yeah, ever since...
I know, you were like so concerned about getting too many results, and even used your reroll, and But yes, that mob of mooks, I think, proved itself to be dangerous once someone went down to play with them. There was the possibility that none of you would end up being sent down to play with them, in which case they would have just swam away. Like, alright.
Yeah, my reaction when I got teleported... My reaction when I got teleported down was like... Just, I turned my like... Fuck!
It's a good...
I need to stop pressing that button.
Yeah, no, like, good thing I have Draconic Leap.
And then you also ruined my plan slightly by telling me that took up my move action. It's like, damn it. That makes sense. I had other things I planned to do, but using my using up my move action made it harder.
I mean, like,
Water.
So I was going to try and actually just normally disengage first, or like try striking them to kill some of them and then leave.
I would not have allowed any attempt to disengage at all with you swimming next to those natural swimmers. Like, alright.
Well, I mean, disengage flying up.
They have you now.
Instead, I took all 4 attacks of opportunity because that's the only option I had left.
No, you could have used your standard action to attempt to disengage, and if you succeeded, you'd have been allowed to move just fine.
Otherwise, I would have wasted my Draconic Leaf and be stuck in the water. Because I have to use it before I roll for the...
It would have only been a -3 penalty.
You still see, I have to roll before I roll the disengage. I have to use the leap before I do the disengage checks. It's like,
Yes. Well, necessary, like, not used to fighting in the water. Gotta make sure you can maintain the proper balance.
No, I can't.
And not sink like a stone. Well, you did. You did maintain the proper
From a 17.
balance.
It must be hard to tread water while swinging a sword against sharks.
Well-
4 sharks.
Well, remember,
Even
See-
hammerhead sharks.
Sheep did it with a great axe. Twice in a round.
Like yeah, that's what I was gonna have Sheep doing as well, especially like his armor. Like, you need to make a fucking skill check for me. I don't think Thomas is used to fighting sharks in the ocean.
Back in
That's
his
where you
day,
are.
while being a guard in Santa Cora.
The training is rather rigorous.
Yes. And you know, he rolled high, and so the DC for that was 20. And
We both rolled 17s in our check.
Also, I just rolled my relationships again for giggles, and I got 3 1s and a 2.
3 1s, the 3!
But now that's used up, right? The seed in your computer makes the randomness, so you would have gotten 1s anyway.
anyway, that does take care of this short session. I hope it was enjoyable nevertheless. You have some organization and thoughts for what you might be doing next time, and I hope that was worth it. Got to see some new enemies.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to do some of the planning in session. I think now we actually had a pretty easy time to actually at least get a start on a plan that we can probably expand by using our relationship dice and stuff.
It's like if you guys had stayed in Newport, you would have had an easier time of figuring out plans because you would have had assistance from, like, the power and the authority here in Newport.
Yeah, I mean, I can only present my own reasoning for going to Dragonhall, which is
Look, I've heard all the reasons. I've already heard them.
You've heard them.
We've all already heard them.
You know, that's over now. We did some stuff, and now we're here to do all the other stuff.
That's right, and now it's just gonna be a cakewalk from here on, guys. You survived Dragonhall. You got like a little pin, a little sticker, like a T-shirt,
Scout badge, merit badge.
a
You got
commemorating
like a magic
cup.
10th dimension.
Sure. Just talk about things that actually do exist. Yes. Look forward to people getting in touch with me. For, you know, even if you don't have Icon Relationship Dice, you might want to try something since you can reasonably act alone here in Newport without risking death like in Dragonhall. It's up to you. I'll talk to you kids later.
The Lee found out he does feel a lot lower.
Mhm.